Okay. You there, Biff? Yeah, you saw my note. I don't know the name of this guest, so will you check? They said Ron. I have no idea who Ron is, the booker. So he should call at 7:15. But will you make sure you get a name for me? Okay. Everything else okay? Okie dokie. Just you and me, and hopefully McCabe and Ron, and then that's it for today. So that's why I sent a lot of audio, a lot of comedy, probably at 8 o'clock. Because Jake forgot yesterday, and he apologized, and I said, let's do it today. And then he sent me a note last night. He said, I think I'm going to go take a run in the morning, so I think we'll just skip it, which is fine. So it's just you and me, and hopefully John, he hasn't returned my call either. So, but it's a holiday weekend. We'll make it work.
NCAA and new state laws allowing it. Yolanda Harris with Owen and affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus says several Ohio State Buckeye football players are already taking advantage of the new rules.
Offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere, he signed with a business recruiting company out of Florida as a spokesperson. He says he's excited to make some money.
It's a great feeling getting this opportunity as student athletes to use our name, image, and likeness, and to finally be able to get a chance to make a profit off of it is an amazing feeling.
Other Buckeyes with deals so far are tight end Jeremy Ruckert, defensive end Tyreek Smith, and linebacker Terada Mitchell. I'm Yolanda Harris.
The venture capitalist and author of the book Hillbilly Elegy, J.D. Vance, officially joined the crowded Republican race for the Ohio U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Rob Portman. Vance made the announcement last night in his hometown of Middletown. In the spring primary, he'll face former state Republican Party Chair Jane Timken, former state treasurer Josh Mandel, and two Cleveland businessmen, Mike Gibbons and Bernie Marino. The Toledo Zoo has announced the names of their two new Amur or Siberian tiger cubs born last month. The male is named Alexei and the female is Rory. They're now on exhibit to the public at the Toledo Zoo. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
Getting a COVID-19 vaccine is the best way to protect you and your loved ones. The vaccines have been tested, they're safe, and they work. And they're available at pharmacies in many locations across West Virginia. Making the choice to get vaccinated means getting West Virginia back to regular life. Here's West Virginia University men's basketball coach Bob Huggins.
The pandemic took away the greatest home court advantage in college basketball, our Mountaineer fans. I'm Coach Huggins, and I'm tired of empty arenas, masks, and social distancing. That's why I got my COVID vaccine. They're safe, free, and available almost everywhere without hassle or delay. Let's work as a team, get vaccinated, and fill a Coliseum next season. I'm Coach Huggins. I got my COVID shot. Now the ball's in your hands.
Get your free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you. Visit vaccinate.wv.gov.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it! Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Partly sunny skies, daytime high near 72. Partly cloudy overnight, 58 for the low. A mix of clouds and sunshine for your Saturday, with highs in the upper 70s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
He sent his first radio message across the English Channel.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Let's have a tune. I'm sick of this silence.
There's nothing wrong with being fun and popular and just giving people what they want.
This is not radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
You seem happy this morning.
Is it Friday already?
Friday.
All I'm doing is getting on the air. The revolution will be broadcast.
How about Friday?
What's this?
Did you ever hear of a thing called radio?
Thank God it's Friday!
It's showtime.
Conversations you care about from people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, celebrating the 100 days of summer.
All ready for the second day of July here. Got the official Watchdog Morning Show coffee cup filled. Oh, I think a good hazelnut this morning. Nice taste there. And just in case I want to cool it down a bit, I've got the official nothing in here, Coke, cherry Coke Zero with 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 everything. But it's actually got a good taste. A little cherry flavor there. It is looking beautiful outside here at my home studios. It's sunshine, blue skies beaming down. kind of cool temperatures for this time of year this morning. 57 clear skies at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 58 degrees and sunny here at my home studios, and 58 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Zach has in his forecast, you could see some fog this morning. Looking out the door here at the home studio in Elm Grove, I don't see any fog, but I guess it's always possible. So Zach's got that in the forecast, and I'll mention it to you. Otherwise, mostly sunny, dry today. The rain is pretty much all gone. Could see a stray shower or two during the day, probably in the afternoon. We'll check the full forecast with Zach coming up a little bit. Holiday weekend is kind of beginning for some people. People get we get Monday off. Do most people get Monday or Friday off when the 4th of July falls on the weekend? What do you think, or what do you know?
I mean, I would think it would be Monday, and then if people have vacation days, they would probably use today as a vacation day and make it a 4-day weekend.
4-day weekend, yeah. Well, we're off on Monday, so we've got a 3-day weekend. So this is our last day together before the big Independence Day holiday. I got a lot of Friday funnies about fireworks and the 4th of July. Just some 4th of July fun and information to pass along to you this morning, as well as some serious stuff too. So buckle up, spend some time with us here on what right now at least looks like a very, very delightful Friday morning. We're going to be traveling a lot more, most people say. Polls are out suggesting that. It's interesting. The Axios Ipsos poll, though, says that more than half of Americans are still fearful, Biff, that a 4th of July picnic or party could be a health risk. I don't know whether I've just bought all of the lack of hype, or because I'm vaccinated, I'm beginning to feel like, hey, I don't care. I don't, we're going to go to a big 4th of July party with some friends of ours over the weekend. 4th of July fireworks are back normal at the Heritage Port with the symphony and so on. I don't know. Do you feel that 4th of July gatherings are risky, Biff?
Not at all.
I don't either. 77% of the people surveyed say they think 4th of July gatherings pose at least a small risk. 23% say no risk. 14% say the gatherings put them at a large risk. Now, there are still people who have reason to be concerned. I mean, if you have a compromised immune system, if you've got a lot of medical problems, certainly if you have not been vaccinated, and God knows we know that over half of West Virginians have not been vaccinated, which we've discussed and shaking our heads about. So there are some people who should consider any kind of gathering still a risk, but I just don't get it. 77% say that 4th of July gatherings pose at least a small risk. Oh, I guess if you're going to force me to say, is there any risk? Yeah, I mean, there's always a risk. There's a risk when I cross the street. But I'm not the least bit concerned about, 4th of July gatherings of any kind or any kind of, I'm not concerned about any kind of COVID-related concerns there. Although we do have the COVID Delta variant to worry about, which we're going to delve into a little bit more next week. So, anyways, I thought that was kind of an interesting little stat there. 77% of Americans feel 4th of July gatherings are risky. A lot of us are going to be going out and traveling a good bit this week. The AAA has put out their annual list of places to go and things to be concerned about. And the folks at Safe Auto have done so as well. So I thought maybe we'd start the show off today by kind of kicking around some driving tips for you. Because fortunately, compared to last year, a lot of us are actually going to be going out and driving around this weekend. Ron Davies is the CEO of Safe Auto. He's with us this morning to talk about that. Ron, good morning and welcome to the show.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me.
You all ready for the 4th of July?
I am. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and the weather looks like it's going to be fantastic. We're in the kind of the high 50s right now, and it's just absolutely gorgeous morning.
Yeah, same here, and I'm looking forward to the weekend. We've gone through a couple of really heavy rain days, but I think the weekend's going to be good. I don't have it. I'm going to a big 4th of July picnic on the 4th of July. You got any big plans? You going to go out picnic, or you going to travel, or what are you going to do?
We're going to do a little bit of picnicking, and we've got running a little 5K with my two kids who are kind of late teens and early 20s. So it's one of our annual rituals now is to run this 5K in our local community here. And now I'm older, they're beating me, which is, passing of the torch, so to speak, right? So.
Yeah, let me just be clear. I'm not taking you running all this weekend. That is not me. That's clear. I may, although we're going to stay close to home, I guess a lot of people finally are beginning to get out, taking at least like one-day drives or even mini vacation drives. What kind of things should we be expecting this 4th of July weekend while we're out driving?
Well, a couple of things I would think about. One is I think, like you mentioned, that AAA putting out numbers around maybe 44 million people traveling this weekend with about 3 million or so flying. That's a lot of people on the roads. I think things that we always think about, and we're kind of nerdy insurance people, right? But, frequency of auto accidents is up a lot this year. Ohio has had higher mortality rates last year on the highways, and I think this year that trend continues. And I'll get to this point, but I think, not all of us drove a lot last year in the last, 16, 18 months, and so we might be a little, out of practice, out of sorts. So if you always assume that you and the other guy, so to speak, are perhaps a little rusty, then you can kind of think about how to be protective and take care of your driving situations, right? And so, preventive and defensive driving.
My question to you was going to be, why is the frequency of accidents up when we have to have fewer people on the road? But your point's well taken. We haven't been driving a lot, so we're a little bit, like your word, a little bit rusty. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I've wondered about everything. I don't know a lot about the science of stuff, but this year as I've driven, I kind of think, I'm used to like being in front of a screen all day, and am I really paying attention to this road? Like, all of a sudden I'm 2 miles from my house, right, kind of thing, and perhaps not focused like I used to be in my driving, right? It's but frequency is up, and we've seen this since the beginning of the pandemic. Driving speeds are up, right? There's data out there around, record number of speeding tickets in excess of 100 miles an hour. In the kind of, some of those things I think are dialing back as the roads get a little more crowded, but still, average driving speeds are up, which means if you have an accident, that they tend to be more severe as well, right? And so you've got, some things going against us that just means like, let's be safe, take a breath, be patient, and particularly if there's traffic, right? You'll get there, and just give yourself the moment to relax in the road and enjoy being out while you're en route.
And we'll all get there about the same time. I'm always fascinated by the people. Last Sunday, I was coming down a windy road, and a car was right up on my hiney, and as soon as it saw a straight path, it was not a long straight path, man, it went around me, and it was... And we all still met at the yellow light,
It is, I do a lot of bike riding with a group here as well, and, you see unsafe behaviors of people, got to get past. We're 12, 15 people on a bike group, right? And, it's a country road. You'll get there maybe 30 seconds later if you wait till a safe passing moment, but, it's...
But
I don't know sometimes.
We all meet at the stoplight. It fascinates me. They couldn't wait to get around me, and then I just waved to them, and they're like, "Hi, we're still here at the stoplight." What are some things that drivers ought to be thinking about to stay safe behind the wheel as we do travel around this weekend, though?
Well, certainly there's, stay alert, be rested, and stay focused on the road and not distraction, right? There's all kind of data around. The accessing of devices in our vehicles as we drive, how many times someone touches their phone in a given hour, put the phone away unless it's just giving you directions, so to speak, and, enjoy the day, right? Enjoy the daylight, the sunlight, open the windows kinds of things. Enjoy the moment. I think this weekend's built for that. So always being alert. Being well rested is particularly if you're on a longer drive and you start to get 2-3 hours in. That starts to be those moments when you start to pay less attention, and then again, it's in those crowded moments as approaching intersections and things like that. Let's just recognize those are always danger moments, crossing intersections and stuff like that. You assume everybody's going to stop. But always, a little pause and look both ways, too, is what they teach us as kids riding bikes, right, is kind of look both ways before you cross the road. So,
our phones are intimately tied to our cars anymore, and it becomes more difficult to, certainly I think a lot of folks now realize you don't pick up the phone and stare at it for a text while you're driving. But the phones have now become our GPS system in some cases. And one of the things I try to be very careful of is that I know where I'm going ahead of time. I'm not talking about going down the street, but if I'm going out of the area, I kind of look at the route ahead of time. Yes, I let my GPS or my phone kind of guide me, but I don't want to be configuring it on the fly. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and those of us that are a bit older, learned routes and things like that and bypasses because we had to, right? And I couldn't look at maps on a thing. And, you think about my kids that, you take that phone away from them and you put them in a different community, all of a sudden it's like, they're lost, and, years ago living in Colorado, we would tell our daughter, well, at least look to the west. The mountains should be to the west, and orient on that if you get lost. But, it's the phones are everything now, and thankfully they can speak to us and give us directions without having to look down and take eyes off the road. Because those moments of indecision are some of the riskiest, right? When you're distracted in a new place and trying to figure out, why I got to take left or right at potentially higher speeds, right? So those moments.
I love the GPS. I love the phone, Google Maps or Apple Maps on my phone that help guide me. I really do. And if I make a little mistake, it'll correct me. But you got to be you got to have a general idea of where you're going. We've all had those situations, I think, where you're following your GPS and you're going along, and just suddenly, because you didn't think about it, it says turn right here.
Yeah, you do, and I was in San Francisco once, and the GPS seemed like it was always a block or two behind, in a big city, and like, well, missed that turn again, and I'm doing circles throughout San Francisco as it tries to catch up. I only have to just stop and just go, okay, let me look at this map, right? So, yeah.
What are some? Let's talk about being prepared ahead of time. One thing is to kind of know your route. Yes, use the GPS, but also know your route. But what about sort of stocking up your car? What kind of things should we have? Dumb stuff. It's going to sound dumb to listeners, but first aid kits, different things in case of emergency. What are some essential items we ought to have in our car?
Yeah, so in the summertime, a little different than wintertime. We certainly think about have water and some things like that. It's never bad to have a jug of water in the trunk or something like that, right? Whether it's for you or someone else, or perhaps for a radiator kinds of things. Flashers. If an event were to happen, the cars have flashers on it, but those portable flashers you can put out behind the car. 10, 15 feet. Just give people more advanced notice. Things like that. Certainly, having been out in West and stuff like that, we used to pack, tow ropes and some stuff like that, just because sometimes you find somebody need lend a hand getting someone, out of a ditch or something like that. But you think of highways, I think flashers are probably under discussed kinds of things, just because, any advanced warning you can give oncoming traffic, even if it's an orange cone and not flashing, not a bad thing to have out there, right? When if you have to pull over the side of the road, of course, and you pull off the side of the road, like sometimes just exit the car, get off the road into the right side of it, and then if you're calling for help, wait for help. But certainly, you see people looking in their hoods on the side of the highways and things like that. Never a safe idea, just because it can be hazardous. And, at night, particularly, flashing lights and bright lights tend to attract eyeballs, and you tend to drive where your eyeballs go. So, cognizant of what those lights might do. So, but, tools and stuff these days are harder to carry because there's not much you can actually do to a lot of the cars these days besides plug them into a diagnostic device and see what's going on. Certainly, I'm not mechanically inclined, but portable air pumps, they're more reasonably priced these days. So if you were to start to run low on air on a tire, you can get off the road and potentially pump a tire a few pounds into the tire to get you to a nearest service station and things like that.
Those are lifesavers. I of course, I'm old enough to remember and have learned how to actually change a tire, but boy, it's nice to be able just to use the pumps to inflate it and get it to the nearest gas station. And speaking of gas stations, one last thing. The price of gas is going up. We all have seen that. And there have been some reports that we're going to be looking at, I guess it's really more supply line shortages than actual gasoline shortages. But it could be gasoline in short supply over the holiday weekend. So I guess we kind of need to prepare for that too, right?
I do think, always stay kind of, don't go to the bottom of the tank, so to speak, as, at least my parents taught me, don't run to the edge. I think what I'm kind of hearing is, reasonably strong supply. Certainly prices are up, but I haven't seen the estimates that would indicate kind of shortages or need to, top off every tank in the house kind of thing like we saw, a month or two ago with some of the cyber stuff going on with our pipelines. But, it might vary by region of the country. I think, I'm in kind of the Midwest, and I haven't seen or heard of concerns in that space. Maybe the Northeast, which I had not followed as much, certainly. And then, out west, there's issues out west, right, with the drought and the heat and the fires, and you never know how that might affect the supply line. But at least I think in the Midwest, I think we're generally good. I haven't heard anything about supply constraints.
Since you've been kind enough to share some thoughts with us this morning, I'll be kind enough to give you a shot to plug. Make sure everybody has insurance too, right?
Absolutely. Certainly almost every state requires you to have insurance or some form of proof of financial responsibility in the case of an accident. So, certainly, Safe Auto's been around now for since 1993. We're being purchased by Allstate here in the coming months, and we've publicly announced that. So we're going to join a much bigger family of companies as we continue to try to serve more consumers. We certainly can be reached 24/7 at 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and our website, of course, safeauto.com. We're trying to serve a great community. We serve communities that tend not to work from home. People that are more, paycheck to paycheck and month to month and have their insurance needs constantly in flux. And so we're trying to do our best to keep prices down and do all the things we can do to serve a growing population. And now we're super excited to see people getting back to work and getting a chance to enjoy the July 4th weekend, with their family and friends.
Listen, have yourself a good weekend. Thanks for joining us and offering some advice this morning. Good talking to you.
Great talking to you. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Bye now. Ron Davies, the CEO of Safe Auto. Just thought we'd start off with some thoughts about traveling for the holiday weekend. I mean, these are real basic things. If you don't know them, what the hell's wrong with you? But never hurts to remind you. No drinking and driving, no distracted driving. Plan ahead. I think that's a big deal. If I really do trust the GPS or the maps in my phone and so on, but they do sometimes get messed up. Or you have to suddenly make a course adjustment. And if you're out of town, maybe if you're in an urban area in particular, like you're in a metropolitan area, you don't want to be fiddling with your maps trying to read your phone going, where is it telling me to go? So kind of have an idea ahead of time where you're going. And that idea I remember a couple of times when I was in DC and I was letting the GPS system guide me. What you forget is, like, you're on a 4-lane, maybe 5-lane road, and it'll show you, 1/2 mile, get off at exit 4. Okay, I got that in my head. But if you don't stop to look at it ahead of time, know where you're going, suddenly it goes, here's exit 4, get off. And you go, wait a minute, I'm in the left-hand lane. It's clear over there, 5 lanes over in the right. So plan yourself ahead of time as well. And although Ron said he hadn't heard much about gas shortages, and I want to be careful because nobody is suggesting we have a shortage of gas. There's not a gas supply shortage. But there are several reports suggesting that there could be a supply chain shortage, meaning trucks actually getting gas to stations. It's possible that there could be a shortage at some stations in some parts of the country. Point of that, I saw a meme online the other day, but I don't know which one of these you are, it says, there are only 2 kinds of people in the world, and it showed pictures of gas tanks. One of them's about halfway down, and it says, fill up here. The other is completely on empty, and it says, I can make this. I don't know, which are you? Are you a keep your tank half full kind of, keep your tank full when it's the half guy? Or are you a guy who wants to try and run on empty?
I never try and run on empty. I mean, I know usually when it gets down to, before empty, or that the needle is right about there, it goes just a little below, then it's okay. It's time to fill it up. But no, I never let it go to empty.
I always try. I am one of the ones who sort of, once it bumps past the halfway point, I begin to at least be aware that I'm running out of gas. Not that I, run right away and fill it up, and these days with the possibility of traffic problems, traffic tie-ups, even if you're just going locally, you let it run too far down, you get stuck in one of these traffic jams, like we had the other day when Route 40 was all underwater here in Elm Grove, and 470 was backed up from the Highlands all the way to, I think all the way to the Route 214 exit. You can be stuck in traffic. You never know, you can't plan for that, so always be prepared. Gasoline prices running about, let's see, national average price for a gallon of regular, $3.10. Most places I've seen around here are right around $3. I haven't seen any up as high as $3.10. Might be, I just haven't seen them. Prices are 2% higher this 4th of July weekend, border to border, coast to coast, than they were on Memorial Day, and 42% higher than they were a year ago. So prices are indeed up, and as I mentioned, a lot of gas stations are seeing a shortage of availability of gas, not because the gasoline isn't available, but because the tank truck drivers and tank trucks getting them to the stations are causing some problems. So just don't wait till the end. Anyway, thanks to Ron Davies from Safe Auto, kind of kicking us off this morning. So I'm going to send you off on the long holiday weekend with some Independence Day facts, funds, figures like that. Our Friday funnies coming up today will focus on fireworks and the 4th of July. Newspaper editor John McCabe and I will have the Friday roundtable and our usual local news week in review. Our political insights will look at the House's formation of an insurrection investigation commission. And like many long-standing institutions, the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts are both seeing a decline in membership. I'm wondering why. I'll share some numbers with you. We'll talk about that. I got some entertainment news for you as well. Whatever's on your mind, share it with me. 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600 is the Watchdog Radio Network text line, or you can use the CityNet hotline at 304-232-8255. We'll check some Ohio Valley news from the Bird 7. And then we'll get Mr. DeFabio's morning sports. Zach is in to give us the holiday weekend forecast. All coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show, WKKX and WVOY.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time.
All right, one segment down, Biffy. Yeah, he was good. I like the idea when they pitch it to me, but as you know, I'm never sure what I'm getting with some of these guests. But he was good. I was impressed with him. I'm thinking I might have talked to him before. I don't recognize the name, but he sounded familiar to me. But he was good. And fortunately he was, because he's all we got today. That's it. Guests are done. I wouldn't be surprised. I've been booking a lot of radio roundtables and just guest suggestions coming in via email for the summer, because things are kind of quiet. It's really hard to come up with much else. So I got a lot of, like Tuesday, I think I mentioned this, I got a psychiatrist or psychologist who's going to talk about why BS shows how smart you are. Okay, all right, well, why not? It'll fill some time.
Montreal, the Lightning leads that best of 7, 2 games to none. NBA Eastern Conference Finals, Milwaukee 123, Atlanta 112. The Bucks lead that best of 7, 3 games to 2. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Babies come with lots of decisions.
Cloth or disposable? Crib or bassinet?
So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design and easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Mr. Davis, how is your arm feeling?
Unfortunately, it hurts since the injury.
Well, let's see how we can safely manage your pain. You don't have a high risk for addiction, so let's talk about if pain meds are a good choice. Do you have any questions?
Aren't pain meds dangerous? How do I make sure I don't get addicted? How do I make sure my kids don't get a hold of the pills? Are there other ways I can get back to my normal activity besides pain meds?
Great questions. Let's talk about your options.
Talk to your doctor about safe pain management to ensure a healthy and happy recovery. Visit takechargeohio.org.
You think buckling up is a personal choice? That it doesn't hurt anyone else? You would be wrong. Your choice could shatter the lives of your family, friends, and everyone you know. That's why we enforce seatbelt laws, to save lives. Think about that every time you drive. Buckling up isn't just a good idea, it's a choice between surviving a crash or not. Make sure you and everyone in the vehicle buckles up every time. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Getting a COVID-19 vaccine is the best way to protect you and your loved ones. The vaccines have been tested, they're safe, and they work. And they're available at pharmacies in many locations across West Virginia. Making the choice to get vaccinated means getting West Virginia back to regular life. Here's West Virginia University men's basketball coach Bob Huggins.
The pandemic took away the greatest home court advantage in college basketball, our Mountaineer fans. I'm Coach Huggins, and I'm tired of empty arenas, masks, and social distancing. That's why I got my COVID vaccine. They're safe, free, and available almost everywhere without hassle or delay. Let's work as a team, get vaccinated, and fill a Coliseum next season. I'm Coach Huggins. I got my COVID shot. Now the ball's in your hands.
Get your free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you. Visit vaccinate.wv.gov.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Sherrard, the watchdog, is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Sherrard trusts the watchdog.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
It's always possible, but it's a holiday weekend. Right now, I don't think there's any soapboxing coming. You never can tell. My mood can change at any moment. But right now, I'm just thinking we're going to have some fun heading off into the holiday weekend. If part of your fun plan is to go swimming this weekend, keep in mind City of Wheeling is offering free admission to all of the city-owned pools this weekend. No charges at the Garden Park, Warwood, Bridge Park, Wheeling Island, Grandview, or Wheeling Heights pool. Also the 36th Street pool in South Wheeling. The pool admissions $0 this weekend. That's today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And also free hot dogs. 1 hot dog per person per day. Today, tomorrow, Sunday, at the city-owned pool. So a nice little give back from the City of Wheeling. Free swimming, free doggers, if you're planning to go out and do that. And the weather may indeed let you do that. Boy, I'm looking outside right now, Zach Petty, and it's looking really nice outside my home studio. Sun shines out, skies are bright, a little cool for this time of morning, but right now at least it looks like a good day.
It is a fantastic morning throughout Ohio Valley. We got mostly sunny skies as you look to your northwest and all throughout, but as you look southeast over into eastern West Virginia and through the Delmarva Peninsula, that cold front is bringing a lot of rain down into Salisbury, Maryland area, numerous flash flood watches and aerial flood advisories, and that was all the headaches that we saw beginning Wednesday and through the beginning half of Thursday, but now we're reaping the benefits of sunshine to kick off a Feel Good Friday.
Your forecast, I noticed online, said we might see some fog this morning, but is that still a possibility? I don't see any out there right now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to update that. I put that out there because whenever I was traveling along I-70 this morning, whenever I was actually getting into your neck of the woods of the Elm Grove, Bethlehem exit right along there on I-70, there was actually some very dense fog that I actually had to drive through, and it made sense, I guess, whenever we had those couple of rain showers that moved through right around 9, 10 o'clock last night. I would not have been surprised to see some precipitation-induced fog with the evaporation taking place and then slightly cooler air moving in over a warmer body of water, that there would have been some fog over the Ohio River. But as I look at cameras and some of my other visibility tracker stuff, it looks like I can get rid of any real big chances of fog, at least for the meantime.
Yeah, looking really nice outside the windows here of the home studio. Sunshine, blue skies. Now, is it going to stay that way today, or are we going to see some shifting as the day goes on?
As of now, I'm going to say we're going to stay mostly sunny, if not partly cloudy. A couple of clouds could start to build in a bit more as we head throughout your morning and into the afternoon. And for the most part, we're going to stay relatively dry, especially compared to pretty soaking rain that we saw early on yesterday, as well as the gully washer that we received on Wednesday. But an isolated shower or two could still pop up. I'm not in full agreement. Some of the models are, we're playing the 50-50 split. I look at 8 weather models on some of my websites that I kind of get an idea of what's to come with the future weather data. 4 of them are telling me we're going to be just partly cloudy. 4 of them say we have the chance for some pop-up showers for the afternoon, evening hours. So I'm just going to hold on to it right about now. I expect that mainly areas north of I-70 could see an isolated shower. Most of us should stay relatively dry, but still there is an instance that we could see a stray shower, let's say between 2 to 7 p.m. Throughout that time frame for your Friday evening, afternoon and evening.
Cool temperatures. We're looking at maybe 20 degrees lower than those record highs we had at the beginning of the week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll be struggling to get out of the low 70s today, and we'll really feel the effects of that cold front both in our high and tomorrow morning's temperature. We'll be back in the mid-50s to kickstart your morning tomorrow. So another chilly start, but at least those temperatures will finally rebound as we head into the holiday weekend.
Well, let's talk about the holiday weekend. So we get done work today, and then the long weekend lies ahead of us for many people, at least. What are we looking forward to? Is it going to be a good, are you still holding it to be a good picnic or a barbecue weekend? Yes?
Oh, yeah. It's shaping up to be fantastic looking weather. I'm going to say mostly sunny as we head into your Saturday and Sunday. It's still a small chance of an isolated shower developing about lunchtime tomorrow, but then we'll be back to sun-filled skies Saturday afternoon and evening and all through the day on Sunday. Temperatures go into the mid to upper 70s tomorrow, low 80s for your 4th of July festivities, and looks like fantastic barbecue and pool weather to be outside and just enjoying the very summer-like feel since it hasn't really felt a whole lot like summer today and yesterday. And yes, I know we're in the summer months. That's one of the major comments that I see whenever I post up, feeling a lot more like summer. It's like, well, meteorologist, it is summer. It's like, well, it wasn't feeling like it if you were asking me. But I guess that's just whenever you throw your opinion on things, everyone else can go and criticize it, right?
Somebody has something to say all the time, Zach. You certainly should have learned that by now. And we start next week off fairly pleasant, too. I don't know what the rest of the week will go, but looks like Monday is going to be okay, and Tuesday not too bad, right?
Yeah, not too shabby. We'll get pretty hot and steamy by the time we head into Tuesday. However, we could be flirting with 90 degrees yet again, but it looks like rain showers could start to move their way into the forecast Tuesday afternoon and likely as we head into Wednesday and Thursday as well.
Sounds good. I think I asked you, and I can't remember, you going home for the weekend, or are you partying here, or what are you going to do?
No, I'll probably I'll party by myself. Maybe I'll go cook up some burgers over at my apartment complex on Saturday because I know they're probably going to be all filled to the brim on Sunday. But maybe I'll try to get that done early. Probably do a little cleaning in the apartment and try to relax since the next several weekends I'm going to be busy going places, taking my sister to a doctor's appointment, and then she wants to run up to State College afterwards, and a whole bunch of other things that I got going on from throughout the next several weekends of July and then even into early August. So I'm going to try to enjoy it, take it easy.
Whatever you do, taking it easy or cooking some burgers or whatever, have a good weekend. We will not be here Monday, so we'll talk to you again on Tuesday. But we'll be watching you on Monday. We'll see what's happening at the Big 7, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
All right, sounds good, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe, stay hydrated, apply that SPF 30 or more in the sunshine, and we will talk on Tuesday.
All right. Thanks a lot, my friend. Zach Petty for the Big 7, WTRF TV here this morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. If I forgot to ask you at the top of the show, did you get golfing in yesterday?
No, we did not go.
Give it up for, it was potential for rain was out there.
It was one of those things that Grandpap called off early at lunchtime, which was that was a story in and of itself.
Well, first of all, let me just stop you right there. Apparently, you had lunch with everybody yesterday. except me. Everybody, I mean, Shane and Bob and I guess Jay, everybody but me. I was sitting at the radio. I was sitting there all alone in my little conference room down there at the radio station. Biff leaves. Biff comes back. Oh, yeah, we went to Bridgeland. Had everybody down there. Really? How about me? Nothing. I got nothing.
We were wondering where you were. We thought we might see you down there.
Well, it would have been nice if I had known that the whole gang was going. I guess you all sort of happened to show up together, right?
Well, me and Steve from St. C, we showed up and met JB and then Ty, and then about a little bit later, here comes Shane and the Powerful One, and they sat next to us, and we assured them that we did save them some food.
And clearly, Shane counts more for lunch than I do, because I even ask right here on the radio. Right here on the air, I asked Powerful Pierre a couple of days. I said, hey, give me a call. We'll do lunch, right? I think he's like, oh, yeah, oh, maybe. Yeah. Because Shane gets lunch, old Monroe, just sitting there in the conference room in the middle of the radio station all by myself, doodling on my pad, no food. Then I had to go and sit in line at McDonald's on the way home. And
oh, boy.
There was a guy in front of me, just a real quick story, then I know I got a break. There was a guy in front of me at the drive-thru, and he was irritating me because he was on his phone. He wasn't talking, but I don't think he was texting. I think he was just reading, and he wouldn't move forward, and I could just tell I was not going to be happy with this guy. And he gets to the window and he pays, and he gets to the pickup window, and I hear him say, "I will not. Yes, I'm serious. I will not." And they had asked the guy to. His food was taking a little while to prepare, and they have that extra window, They said, could you just pull up to the next window, and we'll bring your food out to you. And this guy, I will not. I will sit right here until my food is ready. Gee, many Christmas, what?
Wow.
It's like, buddy, what in God's name is wrong with you? Pull up to the other window. It happens sometimes. The rest of us are waiting, because you're not going to do what you're.
It's a wonder they didn't tell him, hey, go by the door and wait there, and we'll come out and give it to you.
No, he wasn't moving. I mean, and he was very serious. I'm not moving until I get my food. Okay, all right. You just get. Anyways, I'm sorry. That was a little sidelight there. So you had good lunch, and then did you grab dinner last night? Were you at other Generations or Eden's, or where'd you go?
Yeah, we did. We ended up going to Generations last night for dinner, and I had a French onion soup and yeah, it was good, and a Cuban sandwich.
That's good too.
Something little something different, kind of. It was one of those deals where I was looking at the menu, and it's like, I don't know, nothing's sticking out. I mean, we know that menu by now, but still, you look at it, and it's like nothing was sticking out. And I thought, I'll go something a little different. And the over on the sandwich side of the menu, the Cuban sandwich sound. I said, that sounds good. I said we'll give that a try. So had that last night. And it was a good dinner.
I have not had a Cuban for a good while. I mean, as a general rule, I love Cubans, and boy, that French onion soup at Generations is so good. It's just so good. You all know I love soup, and they do some of the best. All right, 6 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Let's take a break, Biffy. We have to do a break?
No, we're good.
Oh, we're good?
Yep, we're good.
Oh, my heavens. All right. Well, since I mentioned Shane, let me quickly mention that the online auction on behalf of Vance Church for the benefit of the Woodsdale School Weekend Lunch Program is underway. It's an online auction put on by Frio and Stack, our buddy Jim Frio and Shane Stack. And it's the bidding is underway right now, so you can find out more at auctionzip.com. See some pictures, register to be a buyer if you want to, make sure you understand all the terms, and then you can place your bids if you would like to. All of the items have been donated by members and friends of Vance Church, my church. They include a 1900 gold coin, Fiesta ware, Longenberger baskets, musical instruments, furniture, antiques, a great deal more. There's a furniture store in the center market that's closed down, had a lot of antiques left, and so they're up on the auction block. Go to auctionzip.com, look at the stuff they've got available, place your bids. The bids will continue through Monday, and then the auction will be over. So a lot of good stuff. Check it out. Jim Frio and Shane Stack are donating their services. They're conducting the auction. It is for Vance Memorial Presbyterian Church, my church, and it's for the benefit of, the proceeds will go to the Woodsdale School Weekend Food Program. So check that out online. It's 5 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. The Trump Organization and their CFO have now been charged with tax fraud. The official indictments came down yesterday. Alan Weaselberg turned himself in yesterday morning, knowing that the indictments were coming. Now the question is going to be, what is all of this going to mean for Donald Trump, and will there be political fallout of this? And I think there will be. We talked about with Matt Robeson a bit yesterday, but it's certainly, people say, oh, it's just no big deal, it's just financial matters. I always point out, that's how Al Capone got caught. Al Capone never got caught for murder or racketeering or rob. Al Capone went to prison for tax evasion, which is just what they're talking about at the Trump Organization. Nancy Pelosi yesterday named 8 members of that new select committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, 7 Democrats, and she appointed Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney to be the Republican member of her selection on there. The Republicans also are able to appoint some members to this commission. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says that if any Republican members accept that nomination to the commission from Nancy Pelosi, he'll take away their committee assignments. Politics all the way around. Speaking of politics, here's our ABC Political Insight look for the day.
Now your political insights from ABC News. A new ABC News poll out today finds more Americans are seeing crime as an extremely serious problem now than they have for the last 20 years. And they don't rate President Biden very well on it, with only 38% approving how he's handling it, 48% disapproving. Attorney General Merrick Garland halting federal executions pending a review of that department's policies on capital punishment. He immediately offered financial help to Florida state and local rescue crews, now in their second week of recovering victims from the building collapse.
That's why we decided to cover, for example, 100% of the search and rescue cost for the first 30 days.
The president not speculating on what caused the collapse, but offering federal experts to help find out and prevent it from happening anywhere else. House Democrats passing a bill creating a January 6th select committee. Republicans say it'll just be partisan. Andy Field, ABC News.
And that's a little political insight of the morning this morning. Now, next hour, we're going to shift and have some fun. We've been having kind of fun all morning long. I'm just not anticipating any real serious, hard conversation today. And then, except when McCabe joins us at 9 o'clock, you never can tell where, he can push my buttons, so we may get into something. Although I don't think so. I think we'll have a pleasant conversation there as well. But we'll, next hour, Friday funnies, a little bit of comedy, some crazy stories on the 4th of July and fireworks I want to get to. So the Friday funnies are coming up, and Boy and Girl Scouts both are losing memberships. Institutions that have long been part of American society are beginning to dwindle. We'll talk to Tad about that. All coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 58 degrees and 8 o'clock on the Watchdog Morning Show here on WKKX and WVOY.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
ABC News. I'm Dave Pat.
Okay, Biffy. I'm going to do a bunch of these cuts in this segment. Cut 17, I think it's 17, LAPD, illegal fireworks. And then I didn't write a number down. I think I told you the number. Florida man caught on security camera screaming fireworks sounds. I forget the number of that, but I think I gave you the number on that. Okay, well, I'm just giving you the order. I'll do 17, then the fireworks sounds. And then then we'll do the two comedy cuts. One I sent you, we'll use yesterday's first. Oklahoma City fireworks, and then cut 38 today's, which is Jim Bauer and fireworks. We'll do those two comedy cuts. So I'll run all of those as our Friday funnies here, and then either in this half hour or the next, depending on the timing of that, we'll do entertainment news after that. Okay, just want to let you know what was going on. Okay, thanks.